Military might with a Southern Indiana connection. Naval Surface Warfare Center crane and a multi-million-dollar project in the pipeline that could transform the region.
Are you ready to help us bring Guardian bikes to every family in America?
Okay, I'm gonna make you an offer, guys.
A Seymour-based bicycle maker growing in a big way. Plus,
Look, that's you!
how a Hoosier mom's crusade to help her daughter is paying off for other families. And check out budget-friendly bites across the state in this month's Trendiana. Inside Indiana Business is next.
From Indiana's business news leader, this is IBJ Media's Inside Indiana Business with Gary Dick, presented by Elevate Ventures, Indiana University, and LiUNA.
Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gary Dick. Naval Surface Warfare Center Crane Division. It's a high-tech hotbed covering more than 62,000 acres in rural southern Indiana, the world's third largest naval installation. It's home to work on a wide range of advanced military technologies, touching everything from Tomahawk cruise missiles to the Trident II submarine. And now Crane may serve as the spark for a project that could transform rural southern Indiana with hundreds of millions of dollars in investment and thousands of jobs. Developers say 16 companies have committed to setting up operations in a planned munitions campus in nearby Bloomfield, a $75 million federally backed initiative announced in 2023, part of a much larger national security industrial hub near Crane. Texas-based American Center for Manufacturing and Innovation is developing the munitions campus, envisioned as a sprawling property with upwards of 2 million square feet of space in dozens of buildings.
The big catalyst in Bloomfield is the adjacency to Crane and all that that community is providing to our nation. And so we've seen significant demand from companies wanting to be close to Crane and to work with Crane, and also the benefits that Indiana has to offer from its workforce, from its ease of transportation along I-69. And that's really what brought our focus to that community in that area.
Developers think the munitions campus could generate more than $600 million in private investment from defense-related companies in aerospace engineering, advanced manufacturing, artificial intelligence, and propellants. And with it, the prospect for thousands of jobs. And joining me now with more on what this could mean for Bloomfield and Southern Indiana is Brianne Gerals, who's the Executive Director of the Greene County Economic Development Corporation. And Brianne, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
This is big news. You know, people think of rural Southern Indiana, kind of sleepy, not a lot going on. There's a lot going on in Bloomfield and Greene County. Can you put your arms around how big potentially this could be?
Yes, it's something that I've been thinking about the last few weeks. It's
what's the potential in your view for the region? Well,
and not just the jobs that we're attracting with this announcement, but the jobs that could, just the economic multiplier effect. You've got they may or may not have a spouse or significant other or children, and so what are they going to do for a living? What kind of jobs do they do? And not just that, but then also the opportunity for careers for our future workforce.
And the kinds of jobs. These are good paying jobs, right?
Yes. The average salary is $115,000.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned jobs, workforce. You're going to have some housing issues you'll need to deal with. But the point, as we were talking off camera, that you made, these would be new jobs coming in, but importantly, these would be jobs for existing residents, new kinds of jobs for those who are already there.
Yes. Yes. And you mentioned housing. So that's one of our main goals is we want as many of these folks to live in Greene County as possible. Of course, it benefits the entire region if they move outside Greene County, but we would prefer to have them as local as possible.
Yeah. Why is this going there? Well, certainly the proximity to Crane is one big reason, but also Greene County is really a hidden gem in Indiana when it comes to the arts and culture, for example. The Shawnee, the oldest summer stock in the state of Indiana.
You think, professional theater in Bloomfield, in Greene County, really? Yeah, come check it out.
When people come to see shows here that have never been, because we do get a lot of first timers and we've been here for 60 years, and they're surprised. One, they're like, it's a hidden gem.
Well, I think what makes us unique is the fact that you have all these professionals from all over the United States that choose to come live in the middle of a field in Bloomfield.
Certainly quality of life, a big attractor, right? How are folks, what's the buzz down in Bloomfield and Greene County?
Well, one thing we talk about is what kind of amenities will this attract? What kind of amenities not just will attract, but that are best fit for Greene County and what we have to offer. We have outdoor recreation, and so it's not really much of a community where you're expecting nightlife. You're not going to get it in Greene County, but we do outdoor recreation, like I mentioned, arts and downtown sprawl.
Yeah.
So.
Does this mark kind of a bit of a change? Maybe there was a period in time when the community was maybe resistant to a bit of change. This will be big change, and I think many people would say big change in a positive way. Is it more accepting in the community now?
Yeah. I've been with GCDC for 17 years, and to see the shift from just the attitude about economic development in general has been really refreshing to be a part of. But there's definitely been a shift over the last few years about, okay, there are big things happening in Greene County, could absolutely be a part of it.
All right. Breanne Gerald is the Executive Director of the Greene County Economic Development Corporation. A lot on your plate. Appreciate you taking the time to come in. And I know in terms of a groundbreaking, developers are thinking certainly this year, maybe in the second or third quarter.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks very much,
Thank
Breanne.
you.
All right. Well, shifting now from potential growth for Indiana's defense sector to future possibilities in the shipbuilding market. President Trump signing an executive order aimed at revitalizing maritime industries in the U.S. by establishing maritime prosperity zones, including the Great Lakes. The ports of Indiana Burns Harbor could be in line to get a chunk of the proposed new shipbuilding plan. A very small sliver of the shipbuilding market built in the United States compared to nearly 75% built in China. And this is a story we'll be following in the weeks ahead. Burns Harbor flexing Indiana's maritime shipping muscle this week. The port welcoming its first ocean vessel to open this year's international shipping season. The MV Pyle spent 19 days at sea, sailing from the Netherlands to Burns Harbor, delivering 8,300 tons of steel. Still ahead, Caitlin Clark's newest ad and the tie to her Indiana WNBA home court.
But ever since they teamed up, she's taken assisting to a whole new level.
The Queen of Assists joins forces with a big player in helping people with their finances. More on the Caitlin Gamebridge ad when we come back.
Here's what's making news around Indiana. Brought to you by the Indiana Association of Realtors. Indiana's 21,000 realtors. The neighbors you know, the experts you can count on.
Before any payload is ready for countdown, it needs to be prepared for launch. That's where L3 Harris comes in.
A really key player in Indiana's defense industry, flexing its muscle in a big way in Northeast Indiana. L3 Harris has a new payload facility at its operations in Fort Wayne. Let's send it now to Mary Rachel Redmond for more on that and other business news making headlines around Indiana.
T-minus 10, 9, 8.
We begin in Allen County, where Florida-based L3 Harris Technologies cut the ribbon on a $125 million expansion of its Fort Wayne operation. L3 Harris develops advanced infrared sensors designed to deliver fast, accurate, and reliable data from orbit around Earth for weather and defense purposes, and has high hopes of potentially helping to build the future of U.S. national defense.
President Trump's administration is talking about a golden dome for the nation, right? That's really about missile defense from space in part. And it's something that we're doing currently. And this demonstrates, I think, that we're ready to take on the challenge that the administration has placed on the industry.
L3 Harris currently employs more than 600 people in Indiana. Now to Crown Point, where New Jersey-based CoreX Partners has opened its first cold storage and logistics facility. The nearly $80 million CoreX Crown operation has the capacity to store products at temperatures down to minus 20 degrees. The CoreX Crown project is the latest in a series of cold storage facilities being developed in Northwest Indiana, accounting for hundreds of millions of dollars of investment in the region.
Are you ready to help us bring Guardian bikes to every family in America?
Okay, I'm going to make you an offer, guys. Thank you.
We had a conversation a few years back about moving your manufacturing to the United States, and you did it.
That they did. Seymour-based Guardian Bikes is expanding its operations in Jackson County, launching what it calls the first large-scale bicycle frame manufacturing operation in the country. Right now, 97% of all bicycles sold in the United States are imported, and the company says this move is to help reduce reliance on those overseas supply chains and bring production to the U.S. Guardian says by bringing frame manufacturing stateside, more specifically to Seymour, it should serve as a catalyst for creating a full-scale domestic bicycle supply chain anchored in the Midwest. And blockbuster numbers coming out of River Ridge Commerce Center in Jeffersonville. An annual report out shows the business park generated more than $3 billion in economic impact and supported close to 20,000 regional jobs in 2024. Notable developments last year include Meta's planned $800 million data center set to create 100 permanent jobs.
All right, Mary Rachel, thank you. Great progress being made there in Southeast Indiana for sure. Well, Central Indiana businesses are looking to score big as the Pacers begin hosting the first round of the NBA playoffs this weekend.
Pacers down 3. Halliburton's got the ball. Halliburton rises up. And then oh, my goodness! Tyrese Halliburton hits a 3 and is fouled.
Who can forget that one? What a thriller that was. The Milwaukee Bucks are back for a playoff rematch with the Pacers, and it could have a significant economic impact on Indianapolis, possibly topping the $400 million generated by the 2024 NBA All-Star Weekend, as hopefully the Pacers go on for a while. It's the first time in 11 years the Pacers have held home court advantage in the first round.
Caitlin Clark, amazing at assists.
Caitlin Clark's in her latest ad, there she is. It ties together her assists on the court and Gainbridge's mission to assist with your money. Watching a Fever game at Gainbridge Fieldhouse this year, well, it's going to cost more, $50 for a top row, a middle section seat, and will be much harder to get. Fever tickets officially sold out for the season. Still ahead, the new bottoms-up fan experience coming for Notre Dame football fans. Well, if the Band of the Fighting Irish isn't enough to get fans going, then maybe a couple of beers will. Details on Notre Dame's new alcohol policy at football games when we come back. In the business of health this week, we begin with a Zionsville mom's frustration in getting services for her child, fueling her to found a startup to help other families. Business of Health reporter Kylie Valletta here now with more. Kylie.
Thanks, Gary. She certainly is a mom on a mission. Tiffany Vivo has a daughter with Down syndrome, and it took months to find the right therapist to meet her child's needs. It's a struggle she's hoping to save other families.
Frog, I like that F.
Avenel has found the right fit for her therapies.
When I see her get those milestones, like I cry every time because it's just, she made it. Like you never know.
Yay.
Look, that's you.
Yeah.
Vivo wants every child with special needs to find the perfect fit for pediatric therapy.
Good job.
But getting through the clunky referral system often takes months or even longer for children with autism.
And that can be as much as a year wait. And it seems bananas to think you have to wait a year to get services for your child when we all know early intervention is what really makes the difference.
Good night, Duck.
When we found the right therapist, it was like, wow, this is fantastic. But there's got to be an easier way.
It sparked the idea for TheraProve to streamline the process. Kids with special needs usually need more than one kind of therapy, so families log on to the website and select which therapies they're looking for.
So you don't have to fill out multiple evaluations and send your insurance and diagnosis to multiple places. It's a one-stop shop for families.
When an opening becomes available, the provider reaches out to the family directly.
We close it up and done.
The service is free for families, and providers pay to use the platform.
The families provide their information, and now the providers can come and say, I can help them. That's in my network. I can do that.
H says,
and earlier intervention means more victories.
There's such a need out there, and the providers are so overwhelmed, and I can go out there and help them, and they know that I'm there to help them.
Uh-oh, Hudson. There it is. You found it.
And to be a part of transforming the lives of children, I can't think of a better job.
And the service is currently focused on Central Indiana, but the startup hopes to expand as it grows the team. And now to a powerful short film shot in Central Indiana that will be on the big screen at the Indy Film Fest, which starts in just a few days.
It's so special to me to connect the real, authentic emotion that I have felt in this space. These are scenes that are based on my real life. These are things that have happened to me with my sister Lauren. I'm able to kind of step aside emotionally and just view it as, what are these scenes? How are they playing out? And I'm really happy with what I've seen so far.
Fishers native Vince Dixon came home from L.A. to make the short film called Sometimes I Imagine Your Funeral. It tells the story of Dixon and his sister, who both grew up in Fishers. An overdose ultimately took his sister's life, and Dixon hopes the film is a conversation starter about loving someone who's battling addiction. Tickets and details can be found at indyfilmfest.org.
It's a great story. Back to your Zionsville mom with the startup. It's a bit of a matchmaking service, right?
That's exactly right. And there are more than 500 providers now registered on her website. So you can imagine how that really increases families' chances of getting into a therapist.
All right. As always, thanks, Kyle.
Yep.
Time now for our Eye on Education, brought to you by PNC Bank.
Well, we begin in South Bend, where Cheer Cheer for Old Notre Dame is taking on a bit of a new meaning. Irish fans like the ones who shot this video will now have access to sip on their favorite beverage. Notre Dame expanding alcohol sales to general admission seating at football games, as well as men's and women's basketball and hockey. The university says it's part of an effort to modernize the fan experience. It is also expected to be a big revenue generator. A $10 million gift is establishing a new entrepreneurship program at Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology in Terre Haute. The goal is to create an overarching set of resources to support undergraduate students interested in all forms of entrepreneurship.
We have more and more undergraduate students that really are, when they arrive, saying they have interest in entrepreneurism, and that takes many forms. This fund will create resources that we can actually have dedicated faculty that have some experience in that particular field.
The program is expected to play a big role in the $102 million Innovation Grove district located near campus. Well, up next, burgers, gourmet cheese, and cinnamon rolls. Yelp Indy joins us for this month's Trendiana segment. Have some tasty treats there.
Now, if you want something that's good and hot, just eat a hamburger, it'll hit the spot. You can see them on the grill.
Well, a throwback to a burgers lover's paradise. It's been around since, get this, 1953, the Lemon Drop in Anderson. Well, several Indiana restaurants serving up grub that won't break the bank. Yelp's Director of Community Engagement, Brittany Smith, is here now with more on that. And Brittany, you've been around the state once again.
Yes.
And go to some places again that are really value-based.
Yes, exactly. With inflation and the economy top of mind, lots of diners are looking for affordable options, and we've seen that in their search trends. So we rounded up 5 great spots that are known for budget-friendly bites.
All right, we begin up north North and South Bend at Oh Mama's.
Yeah, Oh Mama's on the Avenue. This is a great spot. It's been around since 2012. It's an Italian deli and cheese shop. They are known for their paninis and sandwiches that all come in under $10. The 3-cheese panini and the Italian sub are two of the favorites. It's a great place to go if you're going for a picnic. You can get olives, cannolis. It's got a lot of great options in their deli case.
All right, back down to central Indiana here in Indianapolis, Gold Leaf Savory and Sweet.
Yes, this actually last month, they were named the top budget-friendly bites in the state on Yelp, and it's located just along the Monon Trail, not too far from it in Sobro. And they are known for their breakfast burritos, both vegetarian and meat-friendly. They've got a fabulous patio there, so it's great for co-working or if you're going for a date. It's a really fun space to check out.
I've got some samples right in front of me here, and they're very tempting. Ooey Gooey cinnamon rolls and cafe. That's in Nashville.
Yes, and I have made the trip to Nashville just for these cinnamon rolls. They are that good. They have over 12 different options there. One of the most popular ones being the lemon blueberry flavor as well as the classics. They also, insider tip, if you want to save some for later, they freeze really well. They just recently actually passed the business on from one generation to the next. Mandy and Mason are the new owners, and it's definitely worth the trip.
Okay. Papusaria Casa Maria. I said it correctly, right?
This is such a great spot.
That's here in
right here in Indianapolis. A personal favorite for breakfast, Latin breakfast, budget friendly. You can go there for their pupusarias, the namesake, which is a fabulous Salvadorian treat. It's also Mexican on the menu as well. Plantains, beans, really friendly staff and a cozy environment.
Okay, anyone who's been to Anderson for anything, when the Colts camp used to be up there or whatever it is, the lemon drop.
Nostalgic vibes, right? Yeah. We were talking about this. You can walk in and you see the jukebox. They've got the vinyl booths, the wraparound bar, really fun environment. They are known for their onion burgers as well as their breaded tenderloins and the shoestring fries. It's easy to get a meal under $10 and folks can't get enough of it.
Certainly a lot of talk about inflation and looking forward, prospects, hopefully not, but of a recession, and these small businesses, as we talked about, they need to adjust, and these are making the adjustment.
Exactly. Instead of going to a chain, these are places that you can still get affordable eats and support a local business.
Very good. Brittany Smith from Yelp, as always, thanks very much.
Thanks so much, Gary.
Yeah. And that's all the time we have for this edition of Inside Indiana Business. We want to remind you, and we leave you with a touch of the month of May, because we're going to be at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway all month. And this week we found Butler Blue, checking out the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum, the new museum. If you haven't been there yet, it is a real treat. And again, a reminder, Business at the Brickyard coverage starts in just 2 weeks. I'm Gary Dick. Thanks for joining us. Go out and make it a successful week.